Word order, it seems like such a basic rule, right? But what if I told you that breaking that rule is actually one of the most powerful tools you have in English? We're about to unpack how strategically flipping your sentences can make your point land with incredible force.
I'm sure you've heard this quote before, but have you ever really stopped to think about how kind of backwards it sounds? I mean, why not just say, the head that wears the crown is heavy? There's a really good reason for this. And yep, it is all about emphasis.
Okay, here's another one. In standard English, you just say, I have never seen such a beautiful sight. But flipping it like this, wow, it gives it this dramatic, almost poetic feel, doesn't it? It just grabs your attention right away.
And this one. Look, we could say, John broke the window. It's direct, it's simple, gets the job done. But this version, it's like it puts the name John right under a magnifying glass. It's basically answering that unspoken question in the room. Okay, but who was it? So what is the connection between all these sentences? They all seem to be totally breaking that simple subject-verb-object rule we all learned back in school. But here's the thing. These aren't mistakes. Not at all. They're deliberate, expert-level moves. The secret behind all of this has a name. Linguists call it information structure. And really, it's the art of arranging your words, not just to say something, but to control how your listener hears it. It's how great public speakers and storytellers control where you shine the spotlight. And this is the crucial point right here. I want you to think of your sentence as a package. Seriously. The way you pack the information, what you put right on top, what you wrap up inside, it changes the entire experience for the person receiving it. It's all about directing focus. And that spotlight analogy is just perfect for this. See, a sentence isn't just a flat line of words. Nope. With the right tools, you can put a spotlight on literally any single part to highlight its importance, just like a director on a stage. Now, this is what's really fascinating. This example proves the point without even changing the word order. Just by shifting your vocal stress, that spoken spotlight we're talking about, you can change what the sentence claims is true. So sentence A is all about who officers escorted, but sentence B, that's about which group was doing the escorting. Same words, two totally different realities. So yeah, speaking louder is one way to add emphasis, sure, but English gives us much more sophisticated tools that are built right into its grammar. Let's dive into the first one. All right, our first technique is called inversion, and I kind of like to call it the flip, because that is exactly what it does. It flips the normal subject-verb order to create this big, dramatic entrance for your key idea. The rule is pretty simple, but boy, is it powerful. You just take that helper verb, like have, do, or can, and you move it right in front of the subject. This instantly elevates the whole tone, making it sound way more formal or literary or just plain emphatic. You can't just invert any sentence, though. It's usually triggered by specific words or phrases at the beginning. So if you start a sentence with a negative like never or rarely, or a restrictive word like only then, the grammar kind of demands that you flip that subject and verb. And you can really see the effect here. I mean, the sentences on the left are perfectly fine, but the ones on the right, they've got a real punch. Little did she realize is so much more suspenseful than the standard version. See? That's the power of the inversion flip. Next up is our second major tool, the cleft sentence. Now, the word cleft literally means split, and that is the perfect description for what's happening. We're going to split one simple sentence into two parts to isolate and spotlight one specific piece of information. So the core idea here is taking a simple thought, like my teacher helped me, and breaking it apart just to force the listener's attention onto one single element. It's like a surgical strike for emphasis. And there are two main ways we do this split. The it-cleft, that uses it was to put the focus right up front immediately, but the what-cleft, that uses what, it builds suspense and delivers that focused information at the very end. Here's the it-cleft in action. Instead of just stating a fact, saying, it was my teacher, immediately answers that hidden question, so who helped you the most? The spotlight is immediate and super clear. Now compare that to the wh-cleft. What I need is, that little phrase sets up an expectation. It makes you wait for the crucial information, which makes a vacation land with way more impact. You're saving the best for last. Oh, and here's a quick look at a really useful variation. It's called the all-cleft, and it's perfect for when you want to emphasize a limitation. It implies this was the only thing. So all she did was say sorry kind of suggests she probably should have done a lot more.
It's a very subtle but powerful tool to have.
Okay, so we've covered the two main strategies. Let's put it all together into a simple, practical toolkit you can start using right away to make your own language more powerful.
This summary table is basically everything. You use inversion when you want to sound more formal or dramatic. You use an it-cleft to put the focus right up front. A wh-cleft? That's for saving the important info for the end. And an all-cleft is for highlighting exclusivity. 4 different tools for 4 different effects. And before you start using these, here's a quick mental check. First, make sure you're not overdoing it. Emphasis works best when it's used strategically, not all the time. Check your tone and definitely double-check your grammar on those inversions. And always, always ask yourself, does this part of the sentence truly need the spotlight? So here's the most important takeaway. Word order isn't just about grammar, it's about control. It's about guiding your listener's attention with purpose. Now that you know how the spotlight works, you get to be the director.